That's comedy. mm, all right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the GeezerCast. Today we got a special guest, another OG guest, Michael Scearce. How you doing?
Blessed and highly favored. How you say?
Good. Also, we got Mike, actually Junior,
How
and
you
we
doing?
got Malik down here, and me, of course, James. Me and Mike. Scooby is actually our dad, so you got a little family thing going on here today. So my brother's a junior. I'm James. I'm named after my grandfather, and my dad's name is Mike, of course. But Mike, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself? You go by Scooby, but not everybody knows that your name is Mike. So go ahead and just tell us your name, where you from, like where you went to school. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and just tell us about yourself.
Okay. My name is Mike Scearce, and I'm a husband. My wife's name is Gina Scearce. I have two sons who've already been introduced. Michael Jr., who we call MJ, James, and I grew up in a humble beginning in the projects here in Lexington, Kentucky. Was fortunate enough to play a little basketball and went on to Purdue University, where I graduated and played ball over in Europe.
So you went to Purdue and you went all 4 years, right?
Yes, and lettered all 4 years um, at Purdue University.
And also went to the Final Four.
What?
I did, yeah.
So
We
how was
played.
that? How was that being in, you know what I'm saying, playing ball, college, D1, getting to the Final Four? How was that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what it feel like?
It was a wonderful experience. You really can't really understand what it's like not unless you're there. When you're looking from the television perspective, it's nothing like being there in person. There's so many different things that's going on. It's almost like a circus because there's just so many different elements that's there that you don't see. You got all these star players who would be going into the NBA as high drafts. And so everybody understands that whatever city that's in, that there's some lottery money out to be gained. So you got a lot of women who are coming to hotels where they know that the players are. It starts to be something like the NBA at that particular point because you got all these guys that will make a lot of money. So therefore, you got all of that. Then you got the media. Man, there's just so many different things that come at you for the first time. So a lot of times you see teams that go back to the Final Four, they do really well because they've gotten past all of that circus that goes on that the normal Joe doesn't see.
Wow. And you also played overseas. Where did you go?
I played in Turkey. Um, we
Istanbul.
Istanbul. We lived in Istanbul, Ankara, Adana. I also lived in Geneva, Switzerland, um, and traveled abroad a bunch of different countries, um, and played in different countries in what they call the European Cup games. So therefore, if your team was good enough in that particular country, you would go and play other teams to see how far you would advance in the cup, is what they call it, the European Cups.
Did you ever get homesick when you was out there in Turkey?
Um, I don't know if I got homesick, but I did miss some things. Um, Things that you never really think about that you would miss. And there's some things in you guys' life that you take for granted that you don't even think of until you don't have it. And a simple thing is like Kool-Aid. Man, I was, Kool-Aid was like unbelievably missed when I was in Europe, man. It was unreal Kool-Aid, man. Who would ever think that, you know what I'm saying? But it was big, we grew up on Kool-Aid, and so I was fortunate to hook up with some military guys there. There was a base there in Ankara. And so some of the American guys let me come on base and get some supplies that, we were used to in America. So, after I kind of connected that, that was big. Another thing that you'll never think that you'll miss is Black women. I've always had Black women around me. My mother, my aunties, all of these Black people that I've always been associated with, that have always been my family. All of a sudden, you didn't see any Blacks, and that was different. I've already told you I was raised in the projects, predominantly Black. So everything in my world was Black, basically. And to not have any Blacks around, women, anything, man, that was something that kind of was troubling me when and that's part of that homesick thing, Mm-hmm. So, but it's just part of your growth, you learn, and they took me under their wing and took me and to eat and showed me some of their ways and everything and all. So it was pretty cool. It worked out real well, where I could do a stint over there and really not, be too homesick per se, Yeah.
Did you like the food out there? I feel like it was actually good. Like, I feel like it would be good out there.
There's two things in the world that's consistent.
Yeah.
Good food and beautiful women. Yeah. There's beautiful women all over the world, and there's good food all over the world. I mean, everyone has their own dishes that they make: turkey, Greece, Switzerland. They have their dishes, and man, it's good food out there. I mean, all over. You should, and that's why when you guys were young, I used to always try to talk you into getting your passports, mm-hmm. because I know that there's a big area out there that you can go and explore. Mm-hmm. That is just not America. That, man, you got the whole world. Yeah. That you need to see. You must see. You got to see it. You can't just get stuck right here, and it's all right to come back, but you should go and travel and see the world, not just the States. I mean, that's cool to see the United States, but man, to see a whole different culture, and receive that culture shock. You understand?
I agree. I think that's crazy that because I'm young, but I never really explored like the world. But like you've been out there and stuff. Like it's just crazy to think that like you look at like California, you think it's 1 billion people there, but then like you go to like China, or you go to like Greece or like Italy, and it's like a bunch of people you don't even know, like, and they just there. It's fascinating, to be honest, to me.
How it is, and you should go and see it.
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh, you will. You can do it. All you do is plan. You plan it, and you do it. You save your money up, and it's not that expensive to be able to do it, and you don't have to stay 10 days. You can stay 4, 5 days, and really get a good taste. Sometimes you can do like a little package. You might hit 4 countries in 5 days, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty cool, you know.
I had a question. I don't know
Yes,
how
sir.
you felt me asking. I like what was the year that you graduated or that you played for Purdue? Because I had like a couple of questions like regarding that. Like what years were you playing?
I played from 78 to 82,
Wow.
and I'm 60 years old.
So now I know your age. You don't look a day over 30.
Crack
So
don't crack.
you look great. Exactly. So
I
like,
like you. I like believe.
so like my question for you is like when you were playing, you know, especially during that time in Purdue. I'm not from like the Midwest area ish. I kind of don't really know how it was. I mean, I'm not from that area that time, but like playing during that time in the 80s and 70s, you know, there was a whole still kind of not segregation, but people were still kind of, you know, downplaying you, looking down other players. I'm sure you've been maybe booed at or jeered at from other crowds. I don't know, you know, were they, is it like how, I don't know how to ask, but like, is it really bad? Like the racial injustice by playing sports in the NCAA at that time, was that like any different than how it is now or anything? I don't know.
That's a very good question, Malik. Let me break it for you. Let me break it down for you like this.
All right, I heard yourself.
Well, you know, you try to formulate your thoughts and where it's not too ugly, but I want to tell you exactly how it is. Playing in a Division One, on a Division One team at a Division One university. How can I say this? Basically,
it don't sound good.
It's not bad, but I want to give you a perspective to where what's true to me. What's true to me is that what I seen when I played was that now you got to understand, I played in 4 Final Fours. I played in one NCAA Final Four in 1980 when Louisville won it. And then I played in 3 NIT Final Fours. They was having NITs back then. So we played a lot of basketball. It was on TV a lot and made a lot of money for the university,
Right.
For the status quo. And that's what it really turns out to be, that it's all about the good old boys taking care of themselves. And, you know, you talking about when you can pay a coach $7 million and the kid doesn't get anything. You can pay a coach hundreds of thousands of dollars and the kids don't get anything. And you got all of these people at the university in sports academics, in the sports area of the university that they pay. And that's a big budget. And you got all these people that come to see the players, not the coach, the players. And for them not to get anything. And then it's kind of like, if I could give you an example, it's kind of like having a thoroughbred. You know, like as long as the horse can run, you run him, you get as much as you can out of it.
Right.
And when he's done, you get rid of him. And that's it. That's it. You know, not unless the horse happens to be a pharaoh or whatever
Right.
Triple Crown, pharaoh. Then he's made enough money and he can make you enough publicity that you want to keep him around to make the industry even better, to make it even bigger. So when you got these star players like John Wall, I don't know, Mashburn, Joe Bird Curl, whoever, then those guys are, seem to be like where they want to keep them around. And so they treat them better. And so because they have a thought of more use for them. But the average Joe Blow like me, who was just a role model, who was just a role player, who would, when the ball hit the ground, I dive on the floor or,
right.
do all the dirty work, but I wasn't going pros or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't highly touted as being a great player or anything. I was just a role player. So those guys are a dime a dozen and they're, indispensable. You just throw them away and get you another one.
So may I ask, like, as a player back then, you were a role player, and being like role player is a key player, which I think is ridiculous how underestimated or how underrated they are. But like playing that and knowing that the coaches and background people get paid way more than you do, how bad does that affect like your morale, like wanting to play with the team and just like doing that for 4 years? Say like I would be tired. Like, no, I don't even want to play no more,
No. Now that's the one side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you another scenario. Again, I told you I'm from the projects. And so for me, coming out of the projects, it was a good thing. Even though there were some things that wasn't good. There's some injustices that happened to me that wasn't right. There were some ways that the people who were supposed to have taken care of me didn't. That wasn't right. But sometimes God will put you with one person that can make a difference. And this is what I mean. There was a gentleman there by the name of Bob King. I'll never forget him. Out of all the people that I've played with, out of all the people that I was there with, and I got some really influential people that I've been around. There's one man in particular that I always think back to that really and truly made a difference in my life. And this is the difference that he made in my life. By me having somebody like him who took a genuine interest in me, a young Black kid from the projects, didn't have the greatest SAT scores, didn't have a real good background for where I was going, to all-white school, which didn't think and wasn't used to, somebody from the projects, this Black kid. So you have that coming in. He took a real interest in me and probably saved my life. And this is where he saved me. I was able to obtain a college degree from Purdue University, which when I thought to take some chances, I didn't. And the chances that I was thinking on taking wasn't good choices. And I think that a lot of times I think that young Black men, the problem that I see is that a lot of times we don't have something that is obtainable or that we think is worth not taking that chance for. So we take a chance. We make a bad choice and we end up in the penitentiary. Because we don't have that something to say, I don't want to lose this for that. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't want to lose my degree and just to get busted for drugs. Or I didn't want to lose my degree just to get a burglary. You know what I'm saying? I didn't work hard for this degree. You know what I'm saying? And so therefore I had something that was in my hand that I believe kept me, that really I believe saved my life. and it was just this one person, Coach Bob King, who was over the academics at Purdue. That made sure I had the tutors, that made sure I had everything that I needed to be successful. And that was big for me. And, you know, that was real big. And I think that's what we're missing a lot of time for our young Black men, is that we don't have anything tangible to hold on to. It ain't just enough to say, I got my life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, because a lot of times when we look in the mirror, man, we want things too. You know what I'm saying? We don't want a $5 job at McDonald's, a $10 job, man. We want that $50,000 job. We want that $100,000 job, you know? And so it's not just enough to throw us a peanut, you know what I'm saying? When I can go out here and maybe sling some dope and make $100 grand. And so you take a chance, cause you know, you want some of the finer things in life. But when you take that chance, you know, you're really looking at, okay, how my board look? You know, my board don't look that good anyway. So I got child support coming in. I got my rent due, and I don't have money. So what I'm gonna do? I want to live.
Right.
You know.
So
that just from OG perspective from where I came from, I think that's what saved me.
Right.
So Purdue was a good thing on that tip, you know. So I can't just, that's just how it is, you know. Some things is just how it is. And that's just how it was. This is how the game of basketball is in college sports.
right.
You know.
So I remember we was talking about some stuff, because you're talking about how, like, the things that I guess Black men or young Black men are kind of missing, kind of. I remember we was talking about marriage and fatherhood and stuff like that. So what do you feel like young Black men are missing right now, like today, our age group? What do you think we're missing for dating, fatherhood, and marriage? Like, what do you think we're missing?
Me personally, I think, let me put it like this. Every generation has missed some things. For instance, my mother's period, what I've seen in my mother, man, they were close. Like, I'm 60, so my mother probably would be 100 and something. My dad would be about 100, because they were old when they had me. They was in their 40s.
Shoot.
They were 100. But think of this. Think of this.
Shoot.
My mother's family, they would always get together every Sunday. Every Sunday. They would come to the dinner table. Over to my mom, all the siblings and all their children. You know what I'm saying? So you see what I'm saying? But then,
I don't think he's on Wi-Fi.
What
is Wi-Fi?
Am I gone?
Nah, I'm kind of cutting in and out.
Yeah, you definitely
I'm cutting it out.
You on Wi-Fi?
No.
Scearce. I don't know.
Oh man.
Nah, but like, I understand.
Okay, so y'all can't hear me.
Yeah, no.
I mean, he was breaking up, but
like, yeah, I get what you mean, like, with that. Like, that's like a tradition, kind of, you know, like that tradition thing.
Yeah. So it's like now, like, I don't hardly get together with my brothers, and you don't know the person next door to you anymore.
yeah.
See, and it was a community back in my parents' day. Everybody knew each other. Everybody helped each other. If you had a roof that was leaking, Hey man, before 5 million, come over and help you with your roof. Now if you got a roof leaking, hey man, I help you, gonna cost you dog. Everything's back to money.
I feel like right now in this age, I feel like everybody's just busy. Like I just feel like everybody's busy, man. Like most people, I guess back in your day, let's say back in the 80s or something, most people, a good job would probably be working in a factory, doing a 9 to 5. They all probably got off at around the same time. They didn't really, you know what I'm saying? They weren't out here trying to do some extra stuff, no social media. That y'all was, you know what I'm saying? Like if someone wanted to do something after work, y'all could do that. You had time to go next door, talk to your neighbor. You had time to go down the street. You had time to do this and that. Now, I feel like more people are just busy doing stuff. And then on top of that, I think people are more rude now. They kind of just like don't even want to, I don't know, it's like we're socially awkward. And I think social media and the internet's kind of doing that to people. Like people are so used to typing and talking like, you know what I'm saying, on the phone. That's like dudes and how girls be saying guys don't know how to talk to women. You kind of don't really talk to women for real. You kind of just go on Tinder or you go on Facebook and you type to girls, but then when you see them in person, it's actually totally different. Same with cyberbullying. People will bully each other on the internet all the time. You see on Instagram all the time, but you ain't gonna say nothing when you see them in person. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of people try to not even have face-to-face interactions. Like they don't even want to be around people. You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like it's a little different. Like back, when you was a little younger, that was not the case. Y'all would, you know what I'm saying? Everyone knew everybody. I don't know anybody in my neighborhood. I can remember last time I talked to a neighbor. I say hi, like be nice. I get that from my dad. If my dad didn't really put that in me, I wouldn't say hi. I mean, what am I gonna say hi for?
I mean, sometimes you're taught not to really even. I mean, now, especially now, you see, like if you don't know them, don't say, like you don't trust. Like you don't trust nobody, but they could be a killer. You know what I'm saying? Like you could think. I don't know. I like some like my parents. They never taught me, oh, your neighbors is your killers. Or you need to watch out for your neighbors. But it's always been like movies and shows where like you're not really supposed to trust the person online or trust people you don't know. That's probably why. Like I agree kind of when I say like I don't really talk to other people unless I know them.
Right.
Kinda.
There was a lot more trust back when, dad was younger where, some people would leave their front door unlocked, but it's just because they know the whole neighborhood. But now,
for real,
you can't be people who are opportunists and that will, take advantage. Oh, this door's unlocked. I'm going to go through the car. And people trying to get one up on people, I don't know. I just feel like time back then was maybe a lot more safer and a lot more trust.
I think they had more morals back then. We lost a lot of morals.
A whole lot.
Why do you think that?
I feel like because y'all depend on a lot.
So
I feel like because y'all were each other's neighbors, especially being as black people, y'all needed to trust each other and love each other for real because
we brainwashed, dog.
Y'all needed it, Y'all all you had.
Yeah.
What you about to say, Dad?
Right.
You about to ask?
I'm sorry.
You was about to ask a question. You said why is what?
Why do you think that is? As far as that. Yeah.
I blame a lot of it.
Let me interject. Yeah.
What?
Let me interject this. I think one big thing is due to the absentee father.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like that definitely a big part. That's one. Two, I put a lot of it on music. A lot of it. I ain't gonna say that music is gonna straight up make you do anything, but it's definitely a constant sound in your ear if you hear it enough. Some people who get influenced by stuff is gonna get influenced by music. You know what I'm saying? Like it just is what it is. Also TV and other people in your community that you around. You know what I'm saying? Like if I hang out with a whole bunch of people who are drug dealers, more than likely I'm probably going to be a drug dealer over time. More than likely it's gonna happen. But you know, if I have a father who's, you know, putting those, good teachings, I guess, in my mind, it would help. But I still could possibly still do it because I'm still around the people. So it's a combination of a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I feel like we lost a lot of.
But here's the thing, James. I don't think that you would be able to do it, or MJ would be able to do it, because I'm gonna come see y'all.
That's true.
Wherever you are, because I ain't gonna let you, I'm not gonna let you go like that. You know, I'd rather die trying to keep it from going that way than to just sit by and let you go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna let man, go like that. I never did let y'all go like that. You know, I've always told you, hey man, you got everything a drug dealer wants. What a drug dealer selling drugs for? So he can give him a nice car, a nice place,
yeah,
and have some money in his pocket. You know, so why would you sell drugs when you got everything a drug dealer wants?
that's true.
That don't make sense. Why would you trick your head off for an illusion? You understand?
That makes total sense. But also, like I said, who you around, what you listening to, what's influencing you, all that plays a part.
That is true.
100%.
But you look back at
school who was rich and he was selling drugs in high school. His dad was a cop. There was no need, as a white kid. It was just no point. It just made no sense. But he's selling pills and weed. I'm just like, your dad gave you a Mercedes. Like, people do this to survive, not for fun. But people do it for fun because of who they around, what they listening to. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Say it again, Jay. My bad.
As I said, when Dad, the songs that Dad used to grow up to wasn't talking about shooting and killing. It was more like, dancing. And,
it was a whole lot of
like there was no trap music talking about, there probably were people selling drugs back then. There was nobody really going out there talking about it. It was, I don't remember those songs, people was like, dancing, talking about, I sold drugs over here, over there. It was just kind of like peace and love type. Was kind of more of the influence back then. Yeah. And then, as time went on, they kind of started switching over to more of violent, lyrics and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think that's due to how life started changing over, that it became more violent, and they were singing about how they were living.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't lying. They wasn't lying in the beginning now. NWA, that's, talking about what they were seeing every day.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let me ask y'all this before I go, because, old school got to go bed early. You understand?
Call in.
Let me ask y'all this.
What are you
tell me what y'all thought on dating, marriage, and particularly as far as relationships. Not a one-night stand, but a relationship and where you all looking to go in your relationships. Are you looking to be married one day? Are you looking to have a family one day? And are you living that would be conducive in making that happen? So
you won't go first.
I'm gonna give the floor to Malik. Malik, let me
see, all right, like my thing, I was talking to my father and my parents and my mom about this like today. Like it's unfortunately due to like what's going on with social media and just everything going on now, it's kind of really hard to date. It's really like just now, like just this generation and stuff. Like it's hard to date now.
100%.
And it's super taboo to just kind of have a one night stand now, because like girls hate having one night stands, but they don't want, like most of the time they don't want a relationship, or they very picky, or they just have these goals. And I hate speaking for them, but it's from what I experienced, they have these expectations and they want all this stuff, and it's just so much. So I kind of just play it, like I'm not looking, but I'm also like not opposed to dating. Like, of course, I want a relationship. I want to have a family eventually when I get older. But it's just, if it's this hard now, I can only imagine how hard or how much more difficult it will be going into the future. So I'm kind of just cooling right now. If it happens, it happens. But I don't know how to explain it, but that, yeah, pretty much.
Also, like earlier, I blame a lot of that on influence. Huh?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jack.
I said, like earlier, I blame a lot of it on influences, but dating, I feel like a lot of people got different definitions for dating, which is a problem. Some people date, and when they date, that means they're thinking it's a relationship or it's possibly gonna be a relationship. Some people think dating is literally just going on a date with that person and nothing more. Some people think dating is just uh kind of like a relationship without it being a relationship. Like everyone has their own different definition for dating, which I think is weird, something I found out. So I think that's weird. Kind of feel like everybody should kind of know what it is, or at least just talk about it before y'all do anything. Uh, what was it? Dating and marriage?
Yeah.
Oh, relationship. Uh, I'm not really like Malik. I'm not even looking, man. I got stuff I'm trying to do. If it happens, it happens, but I'd rather not look for it. Um, and it's just a lot going on, like this age, man. So much stuff going on. Influences, people too busy looking at Instagram and looking at couples that are billionaires, millionaires, thinking that they need their relationship to look exactly like a certain way. Oh, you don't do enough, you don't have enough, da 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 da, but you ain't doing enough. I mean, if you have a connection with somebody, and if they have, I guess, certain things that you need in a man, I don't see what the problem is. But some people kind of need more, and that's okay. They'll, I guess, find that guy. But I feel like some people kind of mess themselves up by being, I wouldn't say too picky, but they're just like, I don't know. They're just like in space or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird. And all this stuff carries into marriage. And I feel like a lot of people are not doing too good in marriages. Why marriages ain't lasting is because of our time too. Women don't need men anymore. That's just, to me, that's just facts. They can get jobs paid as much as we do. And if they don't like something, they can just not be with you. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but as long as, you know what I'm saying, as long as you guys ain't arguing, I don't see why y'all have to break up. But if a woman don't want to be with you, she don't need a man. This ain't the 80s, this ain't the 50s, it ain't the 40s. Women don't need a guy to be the breadwinner. A lot of women are breadwinners. Unfortunately, a lot of black women are breadwinners and not the men. That's just kind of how that is right now, statistic wise. Um, and I think all that stuff carries into marriage, man. I feel like that's kind of one of the reasons why some of the marriages don't last. Also, like earlier, not having a father and influences. Some women don't know what a good man is. That's a big one. A lot of women don't know what a good man is, and a lot of men don't know how to treat women either. They have no clue on how to treat a woman right, and women don't know how to be treated. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much stuff going on, man. And like me and Malik was talking about on the last podcast, being a good man and being a good person is corny. You know, I don't believe in that, but that's just how it is. If you're a good guy, you like open doors for people, being a good man, you're corny and you a simp. That's what people would say. It just is what it is, unfortunately. But so our generation's kind of messed up right now, man.
Yeah. Well, MJ, what you got? What do you have, MJ?
Because MJ he got him a chick. He got a wife already, almost.
Huh?
Like that. Yeah.
But I think like what James talking about, how a lot of men and women, like a lot of men who don't know how to treat a woman get with a woman, and then that woman has a bad experience with a man, and then I feel like a lot of women have their what they're looking for, like they have like their favorites about a man or like a certain thing, so they go with one guy and they're like, oh, that didn't work, so they go to the next guy who's similar to that guy, and it still don't work because that guy also kind of don't understand how to treat a woman. So then that's when this mentality of us women, we don't need men no more, because that's what kind of coming down to, because they keep getting with men who don't know how to treat women. But there's also women out there that don't know how to treat men either.
100%.
And a lot of guys who get into that situation where, someone might get cheated on or something, where then they have a, I don't care attitude no more, where they don't care about how they treat a woman no more. They just want to have sex and dip, and that's all they really care about now. So it's kind of like a two-way thing of just the wrong, like just bad interactions with people. Because there's so many people, like, when I was single, whatever, we go to bars, and, a lot of girls, like, okay, there's like a handsome guy. They're like, oh, no, I can't mess with you. I'm like, why? Like, you just look like you got a bunch of girlfriends, or you got a bunch of girls on your phone. I'm like, nah, not at all. Like, even Ariel, she thought I was a player or something of that sort. I'm just like, no. But she had a whole bunch of bad interactions with the guys before me, so her trust issues was really, really bad. At first, that was the kind of situation with me and her. She had real bad trust issues of, when I would go out or something, because I guess she'd been cheated on, so I guess the guys before her probably went and did some stuff while they went out, so she was real iffy about it. But after a while, she's seeing, okay, she's like, okay, MJ not like that. I trust him. But I just feel like on the relationship part, I just feel like almost kind of like both sides, just some don't know how to treat each other, don't know how to be in a relationship. So when they meet up, it doesn't work. So they just take a negative impact on it and save it. I don't know why, but they just keep it. They don't try to move on from
For
it.
protection.
They just keep that.
It's protection. That's what they're thinking. This happened to me twice. I don't want it to happen to me 3 times. That'd be terrible.
Yeah.
Happen a third.
Yeah. That's like a marriage. I'm cool with marriage. I feel like marriage is cool, but I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of the influencers nowadays kind of show that marriage ain't cool, and then social media posts a whole lot of people's relationships failing more than people's relationships prospering. There's more. People are gonna like drama, so they're gonna look at all the relationships, all the people cheating, they're gonna post that all up, but they don't want to post too much of people getting engaged. But someone
together
put that frontline news,
right?
So it kind of makes it look like, oh, I don't know if marriage is cool. Like, I don't think I want to get married. Oh, I don't want this to happen. Oh, that kind of affects people's mindsets on marriage and things like that. But it can happen to anybody. You can, as you see, you can be rich, famous, all the way down to poor. Anything can happen, no matter what your money is, or your power, or whatever your job. No matter what it is, anything can happen. Y'all can both be working or owners of a Fortune 500 company and not work out, or y'all can both be working at McDonald's and it won't work out. And people talk about money. I don't think it. Well, at least to me, I don't like, if I made the most money and Errol made half of what I got, I'm not going to treat her no different or no less than me. And then me and Errol talk. She's an engineer. Possibility she would make more money than me. But we don't care if I don't care if a woman makes more than me. We're going to treat each other, equally. When I'm gonna bring my money to the table, she's gonna bring her money to the table. We're gonna get her, bills and things paid. That's pretty much all we really care about, is getting our bills paid and things of that nature. But I just feel like it's a person thing, a mindset thing. Just if you really love somebody, if you really trust somebody, which I trust Errol. I love Errol. Errol trusts me, loves me. So, when that day comes, if I want to marry, I feel like it's at a safe place. I feel like I'm safe with Errol. That's what I feel like, that I'm safe with Errol. But not everybody has that that trust yet. And also trust comes over time and things like that. But I think marriage is something good. I feel like something I definitely want in life and a family and things like that. And then dating, I don't know, like James, everybody has their own thing of dating. Some people think going on a date is dating. I think it's just a date. Yeah. And then, you can go on one date and then, that's it. That'll be the last time you see that person. I don't know. But that's my little input on that.
Well, I think all of you are right on point with what is going on today. But I think one of the biggest lies that's ever told is that a woman doesn't need a man. A woman was made for a man, and a man was made for a woman. So, they were made to cohabitate together. Nobody wants to be alone. Nobody.
Yeah. We're not
and,
for real.
Yeah.
Humans
and so
are not supposed to be alone.
No, it ain't no fun being alone. Man, you want to share and enjoy life. It ain't no fun doing everything by yourself. It's a good time when you got somebody to enjoy it with you. And so that's a big lie right there, man. That's for sure. And let me say this: relationships are hard. You can't get around that. They are hard. But in life, what happens is that if you truly love that person truly loves you, you'll make your way back to each other. Because love will always bring you back. That's at the end of the day, love will always bring you back. No matter what a person does, you forgive them, and you come back, and you try to make the best of it. But we as people are complex. We all got our own different thoughts and our own different ways of doing things, and we got to be open to let James be James, let MJ be MJ, let Malik be Malik, and let Scooby be Scooby. And so that's the thing that becomes a problem, that we don't let each other live, and if you're doing things properly, one thing I always try to do is do for my wife. I want to make sure that I got everything done for her. And if I make sure that I get everything done for her, she should have to do very much. And if she looks to do everything for me, then I shouldn't have to do very much. See, I don't have to look to try to do for myself, because she's looking to do that. She doesn't have to look to do for herself, because I'm looking to do that. And that's what love and marriage is all about. It is seeing and doing for your person that you love what you can, giving them your all. And again, you still gonna have arguments, breakups. That just comes. So I would say to you guys, because it's about time for me to get off here. I would say to you guys, look, this would be what I would tell you. Be yourself. If she likes you, she likes you. And if she doesn't, she doesn't. You don't have to change nothing. If she really is into you, she would like you for who you are. I'm one of the most messed up people that you could ever run across. But my wife loves me just as messed up as I am. You know, I don't have it all together, but I've been married for over 30 years. My kids will tell you I'm messed up. You know.
I mean, yeah, man.
Hey, I actually disagree with a lot of that stuff you said earlier. To me personally, I feel like a lot of people don't look for someone that they actually connect with and vibe with. They just go after somebody that looks kind of good and got the physical things that they want out of a man, and not what's actually on the inside, and it kind of messes them up too. And guys do the same thing for women. They just be like, oh yeah, she look good. And she works, you know, wherever. She's a CEO somewhere. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? She got a good head on her shoulders. Yeah. I mean, all that stuff's important, but if you don't vibe with her and y'all literally don't connect like soul wise, it just ain't gonna work because y'all actually don't.
Well, you don't like her.
Yeah.
But a lot of people say a lot of people do that though.
Yeah.
And I also disagree with woman or man, if y'all love each other, if they doing something that ain't right, you need to tell them ASAP. You should never let somebody do something that's not good and just say, well, I love them, I'm just gonna let them do it because that's them. I think that's the worst thing you could do, and you're just gonna hurt yourself over time unless you're cool with that person doing something that you don't like over and over and over and over and over. If you don't say something to them and, you know, try and help them change and see that what they're doing is wrong, you know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna be good.
You mean like a good illegal or like a bad habit?
Bad habits. If it's a good habit, how's that gonna be bad? You know what I mean? It's a bad habit.
Like you said, doing something bad, like something illegal, or like just
like somebody lies all the time. Oh, I love him. I love him. He just lies all the time. It's okay. Nah, you need to tell him, hey man, you lying too much. Like why are you lying? We need to talk about it. Like why do you lie so much? Right. Somebody cheats. Some women, hey, they do be cheating on him. You know, he's just, you know, I love him. You know, he's cheating, you know, but, you know, he's a good guy. Nah, it's not okay. You know what I'm saying? If they, every time they get mad, they're going to cuss you out. That's unacceptable. Y'all obviously need to have a talk. So why are you cussing? You know, I just get mad. That's unacceptable. You need to not do that. I mean, it might be something wrong with her too. The man needs to tell the woman if she's doing something wrong or something that you know that's not good. You need to say something. I don't believe you should ever let nothing that's a bad trait just keep going by just because you love them. You know what I'm saying? A good trait is I love to work out. As long as you ain't working out so much that you don't see your family, you know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody gonna be mad at that. I like to meditate outside in the rain. That's weird, but he ain't hurting nobody. Go ahead and meditate in the rain. Like, ain't nobody gonna be mad at that. But if you know what I'm saying, if you lying, you constantly change up when you in public, like you don't claim your woman in public, like that's not okay. But I don't know. Whatever somebody does, if it's not good, you need to say something. I feel like you should always communicate and talk about things. Don't ever let something just keep going and just because you love them, that's unacceptable. I think that's just terrible. That's why I disagree.
Well, this is what I think. I think if that works for you, work it.
Right.
But you can't put that in a box for everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and so, you know, that's what you have to see what works for James. Right. MJ has to see what works for MJ. Right. And Malik has to see what works for Malik. And, you know, that's the thing that you know, you can't just put it as a blanket for everybody. Because that scenario don't work for everybody. You know, it may work for you, but maybe you should wait for a little while and see what materializes out of whatever that it is before you comment on it. Maybe it's best to sit back and watch and see to make sure that it is. Maybe it is better to not be so harsh, you know, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. the thing is that we all have character defects. All of us. See, and here's the number one problem. You can see mine, but you can't see yours.
That's why you got community.
That's the number one problem in life. You can see everybody else's problem, but you can't see yours. See, you hurt me. I want an apology. But you just hurt them, and you didn't give them that. You see what I'm saying? See, I felt you hurt me. See, I could feel you hurt me, but I couldn't feel when I hurt you. And that's a lot of problems that we have as people, that we can do to people what we want to do, and that's okay. We can say what we want to people, and that's okay. But as soon as somebody do something to us, now we got our feelings in it. You know, and sometimes, man, you should just lay back and see how things play out. You know, to each his own. You got to work it how it work it. But I don't think you should just jump on people all the time because of a character defect that they got. Sometimes people are going through things and they will change, but it may not change today, right now. And so you don't need to be telling me every time I lie that I'm alive. You don't need, you don't need to tell me every time that I lie I'm alive. You know, who you?
I mean, if my chick lied to me, I'm gonna tell her, "Hey, man, you lied, dog."
Sometimes you just lay back. Hey, if they lied, you know they lied. You ain't got to be telling another man you lying.
So
he know he's lying.
Sit back. What do you mean?
If she's doing something she don't not, you don't have to jump on somebody else. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I'm saying. Okay, if they're lying, they're lying. Maybe they're going through something. Maybe this is a character defect. Maybe they're getting hacked. Okay. Maybe they're going through something. Maybe it's a character defect from whenever. You know what I'm saying? From birth, from what they used to see, from what may have happened to them years ago. You don't know what is transpired through a person's life. And so therefore you have to have room for a person to grow. See, I ain't what I used to be, but I still ain't what I want to be yet. Now y'all know I ain't what I used to be, but I still got room to grow.
Would you think that someone who needed room to grow, you think they might need to just be single and not be in a relationship because they need time to figure things out with themselves and with someone else?
No.
That part, I don't know. I feel like sometimes if you feel like you have problems, sometimes some people do better with somebody. You know, like Ariel has a problem with trusting. I don't think she would ever got through that if she didn't meet me. You know, if she never ran into me, I feel like she was, to this day, have trust issues. But, you know, I knew she had trust issues, but when I go out, she would always say something. You know, she's like, "Oh, you want to see that girl?" or something like that. I'm like, "Nah." And I told her once. And I was like, I had a conversation with her, but I didn't keep drilling her. I was like, "Hey, you doing it again?" Nah. But she, like, over time, she just got it together. But I feel like she was by herself to this day. She would still be messed up in the head on trusting, but because she got with me when she wasn't, you know, I'm not perfect either, but she wasn't perfect either. But because of me and her gotten together, her trust issues are like much better. Much better. But if she stayed by herself, she would never got that together. She would never fixed it.
She could have. Pretty sure.
It depends on the person. I feel like if you think you can do it by yourself, that's cool. You know, do stuff solo. But but sometimes something's better when you have somebody.
Show here.
So how do you feel about people who get dependent on someone else and then they lose that person? Like, do you feel like they don't have them no more, so now you don't have them, so like you're kind of forced to learn and grow with yourself at that point?
that one person does everything, like only person working type
Oh,
thing?
like some people have to be with somebody to feel safe. Like they need to be around somebody. They need somebody around. They need someone to help them with their anger. They need somebody to help calm them down. What are you gonna do when they leave? They're gone. What are you gonna do now? You just gonna get mad at everything now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean. Like if you can't like grow and do the things on your own, like what's the point? Anything can happen. The person might be gone. What are you gonna do by yourself?
I mean, yeah,
That's what I was saying.
I mean, I feel like on that situation, I mean, like I said, you can't. I'm not going off. You know, everybody's different. So
Right.
some people who might have anger issues and things like that, and get mad and angry and yell, you know, they might want to be with somebody. But you know, some people who are with somebody and keep seeing that, okay, I'm hurting this person, they might right then change. And then some
Right.
other people might lose a person and then be alone and then be like, okay, I need to change. You know, everybody's different. Some people might need someone to see how much pain he's putting him or her through, and then he might fix it, or her. And then some people might have to lose a person and be alone, and then they're like, oh, I need to change this. So I feel like it just depends on the person, really. Like
Right.
some people might need to be alone. Some people might need somebody. But you mean you never know. You know, you
Yeah.
like you know you might need somebody. You might not. You don't know.
Yeah.
It just over
I just
time.
feel like I just feel like people should like not have to hurt other people just so that they can get where they need to be. Like what you were saying, like they might be
Yeah,
hurting somebody. Oh man, I'm hurting them. I
yeah,
kind
but I
of
don't think.
feel like
You
it
know,
would be better, or it would be nice to kind of work on yourself and not hurt nobody, or at least not try to. You know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't have to cheat on your woman 3 times to be like, dang, I hurt her. Like you should kind of like learn like, man, I need some self-discipline, man. I need to, you know what I'm saying, yada yada yada. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then when you find the right woman, you with her, you know what I'm saying, it'll help you not cheat. Like, I don't know, just stuff like that.
I was gonna ask.
Malik's trying to say something.
I was
Malik's
gonna,
trying to say something.
does it take you being in a relationship with somebody for you to have self discipline, or is that something you should be practicing before you get in a relationship in the first place?
That's what I believe. But some people, you know what I'm saying, they need somebody. So
Yeah.
Well, I, I'm, you know, how you do it is okay, but this is all I'm saying. I think it's worth trying. I think it's worth trying a relationship if you find a young lady who you think is worthy of your time. Because remember, we all come with baggage. It's worth trying to see, not already canceling it out. It's worth trying to see if it could be. I'd rather try to see. And if by chance, because, you know, I've had a lot of girls break up with me and leave, you know what I'm saying? But family won't stay. So, you know, and I'm sure your mama dated other guys. And family won't stay. She wants to stay with. So you gotta try to see.
yeah,
It's worth that. It's worth trying to see if it could be, if you like that person. It's worth it. That's all I'm saying. It's worth it. All the other stuff just happens to be with what we were talking about, those
right.
different personalities and everything that come about. But you work through those. You work through all of that. That's just part of a relationship you work through. And every situation that you work through, that you get through, it makes it stronger. It makes it stronger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, each one that you work through, because you got to work through some things. You know, but each one that you can work through, it will build that marriage, that relationship, that trust even more. But if you never try old yourself because of some things that you holding on to, that you don't want to do this, and man, that's the worst scenario. is to grow old and gray and never give somebody an opportunity to try to love you. Now, that's the worst one. Hey, you guys got a lot to offer. And somebody's going to see it. Somebody's going to say, hey, this is a good young man.
But is she the right one? That's the question.
You got to try to see. You got to try to see, James.
I agree.
You can't just,
I ain't never say that you can't try to see. I never say that.
I said,
I ain't never said that. Damn, y'all jumped on me like, I ain't never say you can't try to see. Boy, I ain't never said that. I totally agree with trying. You know what I'm saying? It's worth your time, but it would be nice to work on yourself. Because even you ain't gotta be perfect. But if you work on yourself, let's say you're the best that you could be. You and the woman. That don't mean that y'all are gonna get married. It don't mean that y'all are a perfect match. Y'all still gonna work things out, see if it's gonna be a good match or not. No. All right, let me go ahead and find something else. I'm not saying don't try. I'm just saying work on yourself before you don't come up all broken. You know what I mean? Like on somebody, and you know that you can work on some things in your life.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, but I don't agree with you. I think it could go either way. If that's best for you, then work on yourself and be by yourself.
Yeah.
If for Malik, it's okay for him to have a relationship with a young lady and they work on some things together while he's working through, that's cool too. See, there's no right or wrong. Your right ain't his wrong, and his wrong ain't your right. You know, so you just however that you see that you need to go about how you need to do for you, that's good for you. But it don't. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It don't work for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody don't see that same philosophy. Now it won't work for me. You know, I'm glad that I was with somebody. Mm-hmm. You know, that helped me during the time that I was going through what I was going through. See, I needed that. I did. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I didn't go through it by myself.
So may I ask something real quick? I know you're like trying to go to bed, but I just had like one last question, kind of like so do you think you would have a hard time? Like, let's say like if you grew up in this era and you're James' age, Mike's age, would you have a hard time finding a relationship now? Like in 2020, if you were our age and you were out there, you think you would have an easier time or a harder time?
It may be harder. I don't know. It was hard then, man, for real. I mean, you know, it was hard for me. I wasn't no lover boy, and I wasn't the best looking guy, and I ain't had no money, and from the projects, and you know, so I didn't have a lot of things going on, but I tried, you know, to talk to girls, to speak, to do the things that I knew that my mama taught me, to open car doors, to take them by dinner. Now somebody might say, "Oh man, she played you." Okay, well once I catch on that she played me, I'm gonna leave her alone. But you know what she gonna do? She gonna miss me, because she gonna say, "Man, he was a really nice guy." When she get that guy who dogs her out, she said, "Man, I should have kept Mike, because then somebody else got me." You see what I'm saying? So now, here's somebody else that's dating you now, Malik, and that girl, I guarantee you, she'll wish that she had you how you are treating this girl now. She'll wish she had you. See, and that's what don't worry about if they're using you or playing you. See, that's on them. See, that don't have nothing to do with you. That's their character defect. Mm-hmm. See, you be who you are. Be yourself. You a gentleman? Mm-hmm. Be a gentleman. Ain't nothing wrong with buying her something to eat. Ain't gonna hurt you. Ain't nothing wrong with taking her to Cincinnati or Chicago or wherever, you know, and y'all hang out. Ain't nothing wrong with that. but at least try. You know, and I'm just saying, it's hard then, and like you said, it's probably harder now. I'm glad I'm already in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm glad I already got man. You know what I'm saying? I'm all in, man. You know, and so I'm blessed, man. At 60, I would hate to be back out there dating.
Mm.
Oh man, I would hate to be. I would hate to be in your guy's shoes. You know what I'm saying? I know it's hard, but I'm just saying, man, trust that you will find somebody who will appreciate you, that who will value you, and that who won't play out on you, and that who won't use you, and who won't mess over you. She's out there, you know, and you just gotta give it a chance. Will you run into some bad apples on the way? Sure will. Yeah, you're gonna run into a few bad apples, but don't let those bad apples taint you from trying.
That's
So,
right.
you know, get in the game, man.
That also
Be
goes to
yourself.
the female listeners. Don't let these bad apple men stop you from trying.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, look at it, guys. It's been real.
Oh yeah.
But OG got to go bed.
Where you going?
And
You gotta go work.
yeah, man. So y'all have
Come
a
on.
blessed day. Hey, Malik, nice to meet you, man.
Oh,
Pleasure's
yeah.
mine.
Yeah, pleasure,
Yes,
man.
sir. Enjoyed you, man.
Of course, man. We gotta go and talk some more stuff. I gotta bring my pops on here, and we'll have like a father thing.
Oh,
That'd
that'd
be
be
good.
beautiful, man. 2 OGs.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Some old folks.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
why
sir.
gotta hear that. Gotta hear that.
I would love to hear that, man. Count me in whenever he gets, whenever y'all get a chance to do it.
Most definitely, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. James.
Yeah.
Hey, son, love you, man.
Maybe do pops.
God bless you. MJ, you sleep? All right, love you, man. Y'all take care. God bless you, Malik,
Peace,
again.
man.
Y'all take care. All right.
See you later.
Man, I'm out. How I get out of this thing?
I'll get you out, I think.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
All right.
Such an old head. You're like, yeah.
Huh? How you doing? How you cut it off?
How you cut this thing off? Yeah.
Yeah. You look like y'all. That's funny as hell, bro.
He definitely OG, man.
He is for real.
Oh yeah.
Whole time we was talking, she was probably there like,
I know.
exposed.
Yeah, it's just different times, bro.
Yeah.
Different times.